So in this segment, Tory rebels are going to wait for Boris Johnson to blow himself up to trigger a fresh vote. So there's something we covered slightly before. There's going to be vote strikes, etc. But this is another kind of angle of it where, the Tories are expecting Johnson to essentially just mire himself in more and more scandals to the point where he's just going to implode or blow himself up. So rebel Tory MPs are betting that Boris Johnson will blow himself up with further scandals over the summer so that the rules protecting him from another confidence vote can be changed from office. So essentially they want Johnson to be so mired in scandals that it enables the 1922 committee to change the rules on leadership votes. The only issue is that, if these people really wanted Johnson out, they could go public and they can call for a parliamentary vote of no confidence. But at the end of the day, these people are cowards. Let's not forget that. The Prime Minister narrowly survived a vote on his premiership recently, helped partially by potential leadership contenders choosing to hold off launching their own campaigns. The only one who really launched the campaign, or somewhat campaign, was Jeremy Hunt. Under Conservative Party rules, Johnson is immune from another vote for 12 months, but The Guardian understands the 1922 committee could cut that to 6 months or even less, which is crazy that they're going to make it so you can just keep spamming no confidence votes if you get 15% threshold. That's insane to me. Fair enough, the Conservative Party don't have to be democratic, they're a private institution, but still, that's a bit sad. Elections to the committee's executive are expected to take place in the coming weeks and will be viewed as a de facto vote on whether to take such steps. So essentially, if they get the current hawks that they have in the 1922 committee who really don't like Johnson, it's a sign that the Conservative Party are really not big fans of him. But if they get people who are more friendly towards Johnson, it will show that maybe it's not as bad as it looks for them. Given that the committee's officers are made up of mostly MPs who are believed to want Johnson gone, including Sir Graham Brady, who is the chair of the 1922 committee, you've got two interesting names here. William Ragg. So William Ragg is one who accused the government of blackmail back at the start of the year. He accused Tory ministers of blackmail, amongst other things. He even went to the police and we saw nothing from that. And you've got Nusrat Ghani. Nusrat Ghani was a person who alleged she was a victim of Islamophobia. They said that, I think they said something on the lines of they couldn't promote her because of her appearance, because she looks too Muslim. That's just wild to me that such a politician would even stay in the Tory party. But those are two people who really don't like Johnson. Clifton Brown is not someone I'm familiar with. Rebel said their re-election would likely mean Johnson would face another confidence vote before next June, which again, if they cut it to 6 months, they could do one towards the end of the year. The executive is able to change rules regarding such context by a majority vote that does not require the support of the whole parliamentary party. So I don't know if that's a majority vote of elected Conservatives or just Conservative MPs, for example, but if they do get that through, then it shows you there's no confidence in Johnson if they need a majority, if they just need a simple majority. Tory rebels admitted they'd pressed the nuclear button with Monday's vote and had been left with no options apart from doing vote strikes, so essentially to vote against government legislation or to abstain. But the issue is that they really botched this. They should have waited for the by-elections. They should have waited for the Privileges Committee, really, before putting a no-confidence vote and just backdated it. But the simple fact is they've essentially gone too quick, and Johnson just about clung on. It's just embarrassing from a bunch of people who have no idea what they're doing. Many are confident Johnson will blow himself up with further scandals. And you know what? I didn't actually realise. Some of these I forgot about. They mentioned 3 here. They point to a string of embarrassment from the Prime Minister, such as the standards row over protecting disgraced former MP Owen Paterson. So that was when, he was alleged to have committed, I think it was bribery from Randox. They voted to suspend him for a while from Parliament. Johnson tried to step in and, kind of change the whole system of how these things are done. And then he was forced to back down because he was trying to protect his friend. The undeclared loans for the redecoration of Johnson's flat, which is one of the ugliest flats I've ever seen. I forgot about that one. Partygate, of course. And they believe further unforced errors are likely to happen, and therefore they think he's going to implode. A bullish Johnson on Wednesday brushed off the embarrassment of 41% of his MPs declaring no confidence. He said his premiership had barely begun, even though he was elected back in 2019. So again, another ridiculous statement. He claimed he had picked up political opponents all over the place because the government are achieving some remarkable things. I mean, to be fair, when you have, I think, one of the highest death rates per capita in the developed world, yeah, that's quite a remarkable thing to achieve, no doubt. Also, the fact that we're going to have no growth out of all of the OECD countries. Apart from Russia, again, big achievement there from Johnson. He received fresh criticism from a Tory peer who was then forced to step down as a government advisor. This one's quite interesting. You've got Helena Morrissey, a staunch Brexiteer, so someone who should be ideologically on Johnson's side, said the Prime Minister being booed at a Platinum Jubilee event last week suggested he become a liability rather than an asset. Again, she's not wrong. Asked if Johnson should carry on, she said, in all honesty, I'd rather he didn't. She said he was in the wrong job and had shown no contrition to go with dignity, so essentially saying he should have resigned but he didn't. After the intervention, she was told to quit on the board of the Foreign Office and did so. So she has more integrity than him. She was told, she needs to go, and she did. Johnson will not do the same. They said potential leadership contenders such as Penny Mordaunt, who doesn't understand what the difference between a trade agreement is, a free trade deal, and a memorandum of understanding. So that's going to be scary if she gets there. Jeremy Hunt, a man who did the most damage to the NHS. Definitely don't want him. A guy who called for the lockdowns to be earlier and then said he didn't actually call for the lockdowns. Then you got Tom Tugg on his hat, who I'm not very familiar with him. These were likely to stay quiet for now. Other cabinet ministers thought to be eyeing up the top job have stayed loyal, include Liz Truss and Nadim Zahawi. Nadim Zahawi is, I'm not going to talk about the recent scandal he was alleged to be involved in, but if you want to Google it, check out YouGov and Nadim Zahawi. I'm not going to say anything more than that, worth a Google. With many Tories pricing in expected defeat in 2 by-elections on the 23rd of June, which is coming up fairly soon, in Wakefield to Labour and Triverton and Horniton to the Liberal Democrats, the sources suggested Johnson would want to wait until after these contests before launching a government reset. So essentially what he's going to do is, after these by-elections, if they lose, he's going to do a reshuffle and try and use that as a way to deflect from the current news cycle, which is a normal government strategy to take to show the government are actually doing stuff and listening to people. The problem is the people who believe themselves to be loyal and aren't promoted, they're the ones that can cause the most problems. You've got a picture of Priti Patel trying to blend in with the seats behind her, which is always funny. But what do you think? Do you think Johnson's going to blow himself up? Do you think he'll implode under scandals? Or do you think he's a Teflon Don and he can survive anything? I'm very much in the second camp because nothing seems to get rid of this guy. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.